Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain about the service REST monitoring in Pega. For example, in the real time, we have a n number of services. I mean, if you want, you can create your own service, which is a RESTful service. Okay, for example, you developed one RESTful service in Pega application. Now, if you want to monitor that RESTful service, if you want to monitor that RESTful service, how many number of requests are came to that service, how many number of requests are success, how many number of requests are failure, etc. So, if you want to monitor this complete service REST, how do you do this? Because basically it will be useful for you also, to debug the service. For example, someone is sending a request to your application or your RESTful service. Okay, they are getting some 500 internal server errors or 404 errors or so on, so on, different errors, authorization errors, etc. If you want to monitor why it was happened, okay, so what is the request, when the request came to your service, the what are the details which are present in that request, etc. All these things you can monitor by using the service monitoring option, by using the service monitoring option. For example, assuming I have a one RESTful service, I can invoke that RESTful service, or clients can invoke the RESTful service, or a multiple applications, different applications can hit your service. And if you want to see the invocation history, if you want to see the invocation history of your service, how many, as I told you, how many people are hit my service, what are the request details, what is the response details, how many are success or failures, all these things you can monitor easily. So assuming go to records. The first thing is, where do you enable the service monitoring? Where do you enable the service monitoring? We have a multiple places. We have a multiple places. I will explain one by one. So assuming in your Pega application, you have a n number of service REST rules. For example, you have a 10 service REST rules, and all these service REST rules are under the service package. All the service REST rules are under the service package. So for example, I have a one service package which is having the 5 service REST rules. I have another service package which is having the 5 REST rules. Okay, now in my application level, if you want to enable or if you want to configure the service monitoring, you can use by using the dynamic system settings. There is an option in the dynamic system settings. You can you can configure the service monitoring also by using the dynamic system settings. Apart from that, if you want to monitor under the specific service package level also, you can do that on the service package side. No, I don't want to do on all services under my service package. I want to do it, I want to monitor, or I want to enable this monitoring only for a specific RESTful service. Then there is an option. Okay, now I'm going to show you all these things. Go to integration resources. There is a service package. For example, I am taking, this is my service package API. Service package name is API. Under this service package API, we have a n number of RESTful services. See, all these are RESTful services. All these are built-in RESTful services. I did not create any RESTful service as of now. All these are built-in RESTful services under the service package, API. Now if you want to enable or configure service monitoring, if you want to enable or configure service monitoring, now here there is an option. See here, service monitoring. When you click on these settings, you have three options. One is if you want to off the service monitoring, or if you want to on the service monitoring as defined on a service rule. Okay, there are three options here. One is if you want to off the monitoring. If you want to stop the service monitoring, you can just select off, or if you want to enable a service monitoring, you can enable a service monitoring. See, now I have enabling the service monitoring. When you select on, you know what will happen. It will be impacted to, it is applicable to all the services under the service package API. It is applicable to all the RESTful services under the service package API. So why should I enable the service monitoring for all the services? Not required, right? So I want only the service monitoring to the specific RESTful service. Then in that case, you have to enable as defined on the service rule, as defined on the service rule. For example, if you configure this option under the service package as defined on the service rule, now there is an option each and every service, each and every RESTful service when you open, there is an option. So then the service monitoring is only applicable, the service monitoring is applicable only for this specific RESTful service, this specific RESTful service, not all the services of under the service package API. Why? Because if it is not required, I don't want to monitor, I don't want to monitor this, then what is the purpose of maintaining for all services? Then there is an option here. See here, service monitoring is off. Then you can select service monitoring is off. If you can select on, then it is only applicable for this service, only it is applicable for this service. Now what I am going to do now, now under the under this as defined on a service rule, right, I am going to change this to on. Now the select service monitoring, I am selecting on. Okay, now there is a one more option. If you want to capture a clipboard state or not, we will see that, we will see that. As of now I am selecting no. Just click on submit. Now the service monitoring is on. Now the service monitoring is on. Just click on save, just click on save. Now I will show you. Before that, I just want to keep service monitoring is off. What will happen? You can see. What will happen? You can see. Now I have a one built-in service. I have a one built-in service. What is my built-in service? All these are the built-in services. Now get cases. Okay, or get case types. Get case types. Now I am going to hit this get case types. So what is the URL? This one. Now I am triggering, I am just hitting this RESTful service. Either you can use the postman or directly from the browser you can hit this service. For this, what is the authentication? What is the service package? What type of authentication they are enabled? Here this is a basic authentication. Okay, I have already logged in. I have already logged in. Just click on this one, case types. uh, Basic authentication, right? I need to enter username and password of, that means nothing but my operator ID credentials, which is because basic authentication is configured. See, now I am getting the list of case types which are present in my Pega application. Okay, for example, all these case types. See this one, car loan, claim process, and SBI loan feedback form, sample survey. See this one, first one by one, test case, product case, loan processing, sample case. So sample case and my case, car loan, education. See, if you want to cross verify also, you can cross verify here. All these are the case types are present here. All these are the case types are present here. For example, like this, n number of people can hit your service, n number of people can hit your service, can access your service. Now if you want to see, if you want to see how many number of requests are failed and success, etc., if you want to see the invocation history, see, for each and every service, for each and every service there is an option called it as a invocation history. View invocation history. View invocation history means how many people or how many clients, how many end users are, how many clients are, how many users, etc. How many people are accessed my service. If you want to see, view invocation history. Where is here in my case, this is the case types, right? Just click on view invocation history. See this one, request invocation summary, because there is no request invocation summary. Why? Actually, just now you hit the service, right? Yes, you hit the service, but you did not enable the service monitoring. You did not enable the service monitoring. Now, what I am going to do? I am going to enable the service monitoring, not only this service, because I want to monitor, I want to enable the service monitoring for entire service package level. Then it is applicable for all the services under the service package. Okay. Or else if you want, you can define on a service level. Just now I have already explained. Now enable, see, capture a clipboard state, the time being leave it, submit and save. Now hit the service once again. Now you got the response. Now come back, case types. Now you can see the view invocation history. Okay, now I will use another, I will use another cases. Now HTTP, actually service monitoring is already there on. Where is this one? Service monitoring is on. Now just open this cases, just open this cases. Actions, refresh. Now I have enabled the service monitoring is on, and capturing the clipboard state also, yes. Mate. Now state. Now hit. This is another service. Okay, these are the list of cases. These are the list of cases. Now come back here. Now if you can see, the service monitoring already on, right? Whether it is capturing the details or not. Case types. Where is the cases, right? Against these cases, view invocation history. Now see this one. Now see this one. Service package name API, service version v1, URL template, invocation history. See this invocation history. Received timestamp, third, so on so on. Each and every transaction or invocation, one invocation ID, 3rd September, IP address, status 200, elapsed time, method get, etc. Response bytes, request payload bytes 0, response bytes, and node ID. If you want to see the more details, just click on this invocation history. Just click on this invocation history. Now the status is success, right? 200. Now in this way you can monitor how many, you can monitor your service package, or you can monitor your service rule, your restful service rule. Because some people are asking, I don't know, we are getting the 404 error, we are getting the error code, etc. So in that case, how can we, instead of go and verify the log files also, so you just enable this, you can monitor this service rest by using the service monitoring option under the service package. Now see this one. Okay, this is the request details. So this is the request and response. What is the request? Okay, etc. All these things. See this one. Okay, this is the request details. Now you can just enlarge it. This is completely request and response. Now come back. Now down arrow, this is the response showing 3000 characters of so and so. Now only as of now it is showing 3000 characters. Now see this one, this is the response I am getting, this is the response I am sending to the client from the Pega. Now if you want you can just give it, if you want to see the complete response. Okay, now see response. Okay, in this way you can monitor, you can see the request and response and clipboard state also, clipboard state. Okay, what is this one? See, this is the clipboard state, request and response of the clipboard state. So clipboard structure, what is the state of the clipboard? I mean to say, normally you can see the clipboard, right? How many number of pages, etc. So now here also, if you want to see whether the data is present in the clipboard or not, how whether my request details are present in the clipboard, whether my response details are present in the clipboard or not. So here you can see the clipboard state means clipboard structure, clipboard structure. Okay, so I'll do one thing, just close. Okay, view invocation history, this one, right? Now what I'm going to do, I will hit one more time, I will hit one more time. Now just refresh. See, this is the another invocation history, September 152 etc, elapsed time 585 this time, because some cache response payload. And this time I will hit this case types. Okay, case types means this is cases, right? Now case types means this one, you can see the view invocation history. Now see this one, refresh. See this one, elapsed time 160 bytes 4522. When you see the invocation ID, you can see all these details. So it will be useful in the real time for debugging and tracking purpose of your service rests. Okay, so and at the same time also you can see the clipboard state. So now I have enabled this service monitoring option, I have enabled this service monitoring option on the service package level. Service package side contains n number of services. Now it is applicable for all the service rules, all the service rules under the service package. Now I don't want to do this, boss. I don't want on my service package side off. I just want to monitor only one service. I just want to monitor only one service. So what is that service? Case types. I just want to monitor only these case types, right? Now just open. Now if you want, you can enable here as well. If you want, you can enable here as well. Okay, but before that, what you have to do? But before that, what you have to do? You have to select an option. Instead of complete off, you have to select as defined on the service rule, as defined on the service rule. Save. Now this is my case type service, right? Just time being click on private edit. If you want, you can save as and you can do it, but time being just click on private edit. Now this time this is only applicable for the selected service. This time it is only applicable for selected service. Captured clipboard state, yes. Submit. Only case types, only case types. Now hit this case. Okay, case types, right? Now hit this case type. Okay, now you can see the invocation history. Come back. All these are useful in the real time, don't forget this one. Okay, view invocation history, refresh. Okay, so case types are cases, case types, right? Maybe it is not taking private edit. Okay, see this one, it is not taking the private edit. You must save as into, you must save as into, even the service monitoring is on also, you must save as. Okay, if you want to do it on the specific service level side, service side, you can just save as and keep it into your application rule set version. Okay, for and you can enable it. And see, there is a one more option. There is a one more option. So come back here. As defined on the service rule. See, remember this note, service monitoring is determined based on the combination of dynamic system setting, service package and service level configuration settings. Please refer the help for more details. Three options. If you want to enable this through the dynamic system settings, then it is applicable for entire applications irrespective of the service packages, irrespective of the service rules, then it is applicable for all the services. Now the hierarchy is like this. Now the hierarchy is uh, now the hierarchy is first dynamic system settings. Now the hierarchy is first dynamic system settings, DSS. It is applicable for all services in applications. It is applicable for all services. Now, if you want to configure under the service package, then the above setting is overridden to the service package. Then it is applicable. It is applicable to only limited number of services. Limited number of services under the service package, under this service package. Now again this can be overridden with service level, because we have a one restful service there, right? So here we can override the service package level setting into the service level. So like this cascading will be applicable. Now you have to choose the option wisely. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. So now here I have enabled as defined on the service rule. Now I just enable on capturing the clipboard state. Yes, save, because even I have modified on the service defined rule, right? As defined on the service rule, when I click on private edit also it is not taking. We just save as and make the change and you can check in the code. So now again just case types, one more hit. Now this time case types, view invocation history. What happened? When the service monitoring is off, right? What happened? Service monitoring is on. Just click on save. Capturing the clipboard state. Yes. Okay, I'm just discarding. Okay. Is there any service rest? Okay, now let me try one more time. Case types. Now see the history, whether it is service monitoring is on, right? Case types, view the invocation history. What happened? Now let me hit the cases. View the invocation history. Now see, but what happened to the case types? My case types, view invocation history, but something wrong, I don't know. Maybe now again I can hit these cases again. View invocation history. See the fourth one like this. Definitely forget about that case types. Now again I want to show it for another case types. Not only these case types, etc. Uh, classes. Now this is the another service rule. This is another API which will retrieve the list of classes. Okay, now the CSV file is downloaded. Okay, but make sure that we will see the invocation history. Classes, view invocation history. See this one, two times I hit the service like this. Okay, like this. And one more thing is, now the drawback of this service monitoring is on is it will impact on the performance of the application. You must don't do it in the production environments. Okay, very rarely, better, because if you want to monitor, then you can on and do it, then off. Because if you keep on enabling the service monitoring is on, then definitely it will impact to your application performance. You know, when the client hit your service, internally Pega will log something, because here you are able to see all these details, right? It is not automatic. Internally some rules or some programs will be executed by the Pega will capture all your request details, and at the same time Pega will capture all the response details before sending to the client, etc. So for this logging and for this monitoring to capture all these details, definitely it will take some time, right? That's why don't enable in production environments unless and until if you need or if you want to monitor it. So it is impact on the application performance, as well as it will consume the database memory. It will consume the database memory. For example, you have a one service, or if you have a five services, daily so many people are hitting your service. So obviously all these details are present in the database table. All these details are saved into the database table. You know one thing, all these details, the invocation history details are present in the database table. Now if you want, just you can see live UI. See, this is the table layout. Now if you want, you can monitor this table also. So from which table, which class, which report definition, or which data page, or which activity these people are using to pull this data. So ultimately this data is coming from the, all these details are saved into the database table. That's why it will consume the database memory as well. So for example, if you enable the service monitoring is on for 1 month, daily you will number of hits are happening to service, all these details are capturing and saving into the database table, then it will space issue also again. That's why use wisely. That is also one of the drawback. And at the same time, if you want, you can clear this invocation history. If you want, you can clear the invocation history here for a specific service. At the same time, there is an option clear invocation history. So see here, so if you want to clear the invocation history, clearing the service invocation history is successful. But this is the manual option. If you want, you can create a program which is nothing but you can create a one job scheduler and you can clear the invocation history. You can clear the, or that means you can purging this invocation history permanently from the database table. And we have, I think we have a OOTB agents also there to purging the invocation history as well, purging the invocation history as well, because we don't want to keep it continuously. You know, it will consume the database memory, because we don't want to monitor and we don't want to analyze the last year invocation history, right? That's why, okay, this is very very useful for you. This is very very useful for you. Or if you want, you can clear the specific service. Now just see, come back, cases, view invocation history. Just now I cleared, right? Because even classes also, for this one classes also, just now I cleared. Now like this. Okay, this is the service monitoring option in Pega. Okay, thank you so much.